Intershot, you've had 15 years in the Solicitor General's office of your very important state, and you've had a lot of cases and appeals in that case. How has your extended tenure in that office prepared you for the federal bench?
Before we get started, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more real coverage of the political stories the mainstream media keeps spinning. Today we're breaking down Senator Chuck Grassley's questioning of several judicial nominees and why this hearing matters far more than most Americans realize.
Thank you for the chance to elaborate on that, Senator. I would say one way that I maybe talked about a bit earlier was just working for and with excellent lawyers and excellent leaders like now Governor DeWine and Attorney General Yost, and seeing their humility in approaching difficult questions, their commitment to the rule of law. But I think on a more concrete level, over those 15 years, I've litigated many of the kinds of issues that come before a district court, whether it's the anti-discrimination statutes, Section 1983 litigation, habeas litigation, all manner of state and federal constitutional issues, jurisdictional questions, and I won't go on to bore those in the room with a more extended list, but I think that gives me a running start in terms of the broad base of things that come before a district court.
Yeah, Mr. Jones, you've been involved in military prosecutions and cases, and also as an assistant U.S. attorney. Tell me what drives your commitment to serve both military and civilian service and now on the federal bench.
Thank you, Chairman Grassley. Well, it's generally been a commitment to justice and to serving the people of the United States. I have found that both right out of law school, when I joined the United States Air Force JAG Corps, it gave me a tremendous opportunity to do that, to serve my country, as well as use what I think was probably my best skill set as an attorney, to do that in the courtroom, and both on the prosecution and defense side, defending active duty service members. And also, once I transitioned from the Air Force over to the United States Attorney's Office, it was the same thing. I was at a point in my career where I had tried a decent number of cases in the military, and I was probably going to be moving into more of a management role, but I wanted to continue to serve the people and the country, but also in using the best skills that I thought I had to do that. And I thought that was to stay in the courtroom, and that was an opportunity that the Southern District of Texas gave me, first in Laredo on the border with Mexico, where I learned a lot of the issues that are vital to protecting not only the people of the Southern District of Texas, but the entire United States, and spent over 8 years there before moving up to Houston and eventually moving into management there in the Houston office, seeing the bigger picture, but also still trying cases. And I think all of that commitment to public service and to using the skills that I believe I did possess to the best effect to help and serve the people of the United States. And I would hope to be able to do that and use those same skills and dedication on the federal bench, if confirmed.
Judge Kuntz, I know you've had several hundred cases or maybe thousands of cases, I don't know, and a lot of opinions that you've had to do. I'd like to know what you've learned as a state judge that will help you on the federal bench.
Thank you, Chair Grassley. And it is in fact thousands of cases that I've been fortunate enough to preside over on the 4th District Court of Appeal. It's a court of, we handle all types of cases. All appeals in the state of Florida in our district, other than the death penalty, go to us. So I've been fortunate enough to every day handle different types of cases, different types of issues, and working with colleagues, very exceptional colleagues that have helped teach me. And I think I would bring all of that, especially the scope of the practice areas that are put before us, if I'm fortunate enough to be confirmed.
Mr. Mark, I'm a person that has a great interest in victims' rights. In your view, what role does a judge play in protecting victims' rights, and what have you learned as a prosecutor that prepares you to fulfill that role of protecting victims' rights?
Thank you, Chairman. As a prosecutor, you interact with victims a lot. You give them an opportunity to tell their story. You work with them a lot of times throughout the process. And it gave me a deeper appreciation for what a lot of people experience coming into the criminal justice system. As a judge, I would do my absolute best to give everyone who appears in the courtroom a fair opportunity, whether it's as a witness or as a defendant, to apply the rule of law as it should be.
In this hearing, Senator Chuck Grassley focused on something Americans care deeply about: whether future federal judges are truly prepared to uphold the Constitution and protect the rights of everyday citizens. One nominee explained that after 15 years in the Ohio Solicitor General's office, he handled everything from discrimination claims to constitutional disputes and habeas litigation. That matters because federal judges are making decisions every day that affect free speech, religious liberty, gun rights, and the balance of power between citizens and government. What stood out to me was the repeated emphasis on humility and respect for the rule of law. And honestly, that's something many Americans feel has been missing from parts of our judicial system in recent years. People are tired of activist judges trying to legislate from the bench instead of interpreting the law as written. Another nominee, Mr. Jones, talked about serving in the Air Force JAG Corps before becoming a federal prosecutor in Texas. He described working both prosecution and defense cases and spending years dealing with issues along the southern border. That's important because border security isn't just a political talking point anymore. It's a national security issue. Hearing a nominee acknowledge the seriousness of what's happening at the border shows there are still people in the legal system who understand the real-world consequences of weak enforcement and failed policies. Then Judge Coons discussed handling thousands of appeals in Florida's court system, and whether you're conservative or liberal, experience matters. Americans want judges who understand complex legal issues and can make decisions based on law, not political pressure. But one of the most important moments came when Grassley asked about victims' rights. That question cuts to the heart of what the justice system is supposed to do. A courtroom should protect constitutional rights while also making sure victims are heard and treated fairly. The nominee responded by saying judges must give everyone a fair opportunity and apply the law equally, and that's exactly the standard Americans should expect. At the end of the day, this hearing reminded people why judicial confirmations matter so much. Presidents come and go. Congress changes hands, but federal judges can shape the country for decades. That's why Americans need judges who believe in the Constitution, respect the limits of their power, and understand that the law should apply equally to everyone, not differently based on politics. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest political coverage and analysis. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.